Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So in today's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a simple pair of slippers and how to draft your own pattern in order to get the perfect fit. So before we get started today, I wanted to talk to you quickly about my special offer that I'm running on Patreon. So Patreon is a platform that allows you to support creators like me who are making content that you find useful. So if you're someone who's regular around here, or you find this video particularly useful and you want to support me in order to make more videos like this, more how-to tutorial videos and things on how to live well on a budget and how to do eco-friendly things around the home and garden, then head on over to Patreon. There's a link in the description box below and I'll pin a comment with the link on. You can find me under Lizzie Dean Makes, and for the next 14 days from the 1st of May until the 14th of May, if you sign up to become a Patreon, you will get a handwritten personalised postcard from me as well as the other benefits that you would usually get. So there are different tiers on my Patreon, and you get different benefits depending on which tier you sign up to. So you can start from signing up for $1 a month. It's all in American dollars at the moment. Apparently later this year I'll be able to get it in Great British pounds, which is obviously the currency of my country, but for now it's all in dollars. If you sign up for $1 a month, then you'll be supporting me to be able to keep making these videos, to buy in supplies for any of the larger projects that I do, and to keep making this content for you. And in return you'll get different things for the different tiers. So that's all listed out on Patreon, what you get for the different tiers. So my aim is to get to 100 patrons who are supporting me in doing this work. And when we get there, then we'll be doing a celebratory live stream here on YouTube. So if you'd like to be involved in supporting this channel, then please do follow that link and head on over to Patreon and become a patron of my channel. So I needed a pair of slippers that were small and could easily fit into my maternity bag without taking up any space for when I go into hospital, but that I could also slip on easily without having to bend down and reach my feet. So obviously the bump is massive right now and I can't touch my toes. So putting my old boot style slippers on was just not going to be an option for the hospital. But I'm going to need slippers because I have to wear these compression socks 24 hours a day. So in order to not slip on the floor, then I need to have some slippers. So I needed to make some that would fit nicely into my hospital bag. So I already had all the supplies for these in scraps of things from other projects. But I'll talk you through the different fabrics that you would need to make these as we get on in the video. So let's get started. So once you've drafted your pattern pieces and you've got them clipped together, you want to mark which is the right of each and then which is the left of each on the reverse. So these were clipped together this way up, so I've marked right and right and left. So then you want to cut a left and a right out of each of your fabrics. So I'm going for a two-toned, one which is going to be the lining and one which is going to be the outer. So I've cut a left and a right out of each of my two coloured fabrics. You could do these in the same fabric, in which case you just cut two left and two right out of each. So I've got a left and a right toe cut out, and I've got that cut in the lining, the quilt batting and the upper. I've got two of those, and then I've got a left and a right foot cut out. So I've got the lining, 3 layers of quilt batting because I want them to be pretty thick and squidgy underneath, and then I've got a layer of felt. This is optional, but I've added this because it's a little bit stiffer than the quilt batting and I want the soles to be a little bit stiffer. And then I've got my my sole layer, which is in my outer fabric. So I've sandwiched those together. So I've got a left and a right foot and a left and a right toe. And now we're going to quilt those. So I'm going to do a nice diagonal quilting stitch to attach all these layers of these 4 sandwiches together. So you want to pin your sandwich together. I've got these nice magic clips which make life very straightforward. I want to make sure that all of the layers line up and are flat, and then just clip them together. So now we're going to do a straight stitch, and I'm just going to do a wide diagonal quilting to attach these layers together. We do the same thing with the lip of the slipper, so we clip it all together and then we'll quilt this with a nice diamond quilting as well. Next, get your bias binding and measure a strip to go along the long straight edge of your lip. I want to cut it ever so slightly over, just to be on the safe side. And then you're going to want to turn that upside down and open up one of the folds and clip that in place along the straight edge of your lip. And now we're going to stitch along that fold line, just slightly to this side of the fold line, all the way along the long edge there. We're then going to turn this over and fold it down to that stitched line on the other side, and then we're going to sew just inside the bias binding, about 1 millimetre in, or a straight line all the way along. So now we've got our bias binding sewn on to the straight edge of our lip. So now we've got our quilted sole and our quilted lip. And what we're going to do is we're going to line up our paper pattern piece. With our sole. And about 1/2 centimetre down from the marked line is where we want to position the end of our lip. And we want to clip that in place. And we want to do the same on the other side. And clip that in place. Now these might need to move ever so slightly once we get going. So what we're going to do now is we're going to clip down all the way around so that our edges all line up. And if you feel you need to move these a tiny bit just to get the ease right, then you can do so, and then we should have a slipper shape. So now what we're going to do is we're going to sew a 1/4 inch seam all the way from here to here, taking in the lip and attaching it to the sole of the slipper. So now we've got the lip attached to the sole of our slipper, and now we're going to do our bias binding all the way around the outside. So we'll fold the end of our bias binding over, and we're going to place that on the bottom of our slipper, with one of the folded edges opened out. I'm going to clip that in place. Now you want to start about halfway along the straight edge of the foot part, down from where the lip meets the sole, around the heel of the foot. And we're going to go round and we're going to clip that into place. So once we get back round to this point, we'll overlap slightly and we'll cut off our bias binding. Now we're going to sew in the fold line all the way around the outside of our slipper sole, attaching the bias binding. So now we've got our bias binding attached to the sole of our slipper. We turn that out all the way around. And if we've got a situation like this where there's too much bulk, we want to trim the excess. So we'll just go around with our fabric scissors and trim a bit of the excess off here. So now when we fold this down, it should nicely cover all of the inner workings, and we should be able to line it up with the stitch lines that go around the bottom of the sole from the other side. So starting where we had our overlap, we want to sort these out so they look nice, and then we're going to stitch around, folding this over onto that fold line and doing a top stitch about 1 millimetre in from the edge. So now we have a completed slipper with our bias binding attached all the way around the sole and the upper and the lip. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please remember to give it a thumbs up. It really does help my channel to grow. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, then hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification icon so you get updated every time I upload a new video. And remember, if you'd like to support me, you can head on over to Patreon and become a patron of my channel. The link is in the description box below. Thanks for watching, guys. Bye.